is changing as we speak, as the commissioners from the Power 5 conferences, as well as Notre Dame's Jack Swarbrick, are in Chicago determining the structure of a potential 12-team playoff. This is exciting stuff. So let's bring in Paul Feinbaum and Heather Dinich, who is in Chicago, to join us here. Heather, set the scene for us. What is at stake today? And here's the big thing. What can we expect to hear and when?
Good morning. I am standing in the lobby of the Big Ten offices in Chicago, and the 10 FBS commissioners and Jack Swarbrick are going to be meeting at 9 a.m. Central till about noon, unless they finish earlier. They're upstairs. They're sort of starting to trickle in. And what we can expect is, I believe that they are going to push forward the proposal they received last Thursday to the presidents and chancellors who comprise the CFP's Board of Managers. They'll meet in Dallas on Tuesday. Now, that being said, I'm going to urge college football fans to have caution and patience, because that's what's being stressed to me. This is going to take a long time. They didn't draw any major conclusions or solve any major problems last night. We have to remember that 4 people on the working group had 2 years to digest this plan. The 7 other members of the board of the commissioners did not. This is the first time they're digesting it. I've been told they haven't had enough time to go back to their athletic directors, their coaches, their university presidents to get their take on it. So this is going to unfold very slowly, and when they present it to the presidents and chancellors, there's going to be a lot of things circled that need further digging and research over the summer.
College football fans having patience, I think that's impossible, Heather. I want to see that happen. So, Paul, as you exhale and try to channel your chi with patience on this one, as somebody who has covered college football as long as you have, what is your reaction to this moment where we are on the precipice of something like a 12-team playoff?
Well, I want to ask Heather to tell the people upstairs, don't tell us to have patience. We're as excited as we have ever been about college football. And a guy like me about to jump up and down and scream, they're going to tell us, calm down. We haven't had a chance. Yes, you have. You've had a long time. You've had your whole life to look over this. Ryan, with all due respect to the gentleman upstairs, this is going to happen. This is a fait accompli. It's just a matter of when they sign off on it. But there is one thing I'm concerned about. And if these moguls of college football pass this along, and then sometime in September, they tell us, well, we really need more time. We're not ready to do it in 2 years. There is going to be a revolt. College football fans are ready for change. We're not ready to sit around on our hands for the next 4 years waiting to see this thing finally take place.
Okay, so Heather, is there a winner? Give me one winner and one loser from this expansion.
Well, if there's a winner, Ryan, I would say it's the group of 5. I mean, when you look at the proposal that was placed in front of those commissioners, there's not a delineation between Power 5 and Group of 5. It is the highest ranked 6 conference champions. That means you get a seat at the table in the college football playoff. That's not what it's like in this current 4-team system. Right now, the highest ranked Group of 5 champion is guaranteed a spot in a New Year's Six Bowl. That's an entirely different conversation. I can tell you one of the questions that those Group of 5 constituents, ADs, are asking and presidents is probably going to be, well, how much money do we get out of it? And they're not ready to answer that question yet. But to your point, a loser might be the bowl system. And I don't mean the New Year's Six Bowls. I mean the fringe bowls. I think that there are a lot of bowls that are already struggling out there. And I think that there could be a consequence in terms of how the system moves forward and impacts those other bowls.
Okay, we'll see how this plays out. But I say that with all the optimism that Paul Feinbaum has, which is it's going to happen. I'll have patience, but it's going to happen. Guys, thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right, back to the NFL. Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield, both first-round picks in the 2018 draft. All are eligible for contract extension. So both quarterbacks were asked about those situations. And here's what they said.
I'm in no rush because I'm just trying to win games, and like I said, it'll handle itself. I've bet on myself my whole life. I've always taken it one day at a time, one play at a time, and like I said, I'm not going to handle it any differently now.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not really focused on that right now. I'm focused on getting me a Super Bowl. I'm focused on getting better.
It's hard not to focus on it, though. I just have to say that. Let's bring in our football team, and let's start with our GM, Mike. For Lamar and Baker, who would you break the bank for? Either, neither, or both?
Oh, this is easy. You sign Lamar Jackson ASAP, league MVP. He's dynamic. He's only going to get better. You look at Deshaun Watson. You look at Dak Prescott, $39, $40 million a year. That's something that I think that's where the market will be. Look, he has to get better. All young players do, but he's already played at such an exceptional level. I would not sign Baker Mayfield. They still have essentially 3 more years. This year, next year, they can always franchise him. He was only 20th in QBR in drop-back passing. He has really just an above-average skill set. And Kevin Stefanski, the head coach of the Browns, when he was the offensive coordinator in Minnesota, won with other players like Case Keenum and Kirk Cousins. If I'm the Browns, I allocate some of that money right now to guys like Nick Chubb, Denzel Ward. I would not sign Baker Mayfield.
So let me get this straight. You're not saying I would not sign Baker Mayfield now. You're saying you would not sign him to a long-term deal even later or going forward.
Yeah, I would wait at least a couple of years. Let's see if he keeps playing at the level he did. He played very well last year, but I give a lot of that credit to Kevin Stefanski and the incredible team they built there. And when you're allocating dollars, I just think there's a better use of those dollars.
Kimberly, what do you think about that?
You know, last year it was Roethlisberger. This year, apparently, Mike T is going to take aim at Baker Mayfield and just throw shots at him. So now I know where we are. I mean, like, give the guy a break. Can we please look at what he has dealt with since coming into the league? I know no situation is easy, but come on. The guy had Hugh Jackson and Todd Haley. What? Come on, okay? Then he goes to Freddie Kitchens, and now he's got Kevin Stefanski. This is the first offseason where Baker has had the same coaching staff. So give the guy, cut him some slack. And I just looked during the break, I just looked at all 32, who are the starting QBs in the league. I would take Baker over 19 of those guys. I understand you can look at stats and everything, but compare Baker to every other QB. There aren't a lot of other QBs that I would rather have instead of Baker. So, but I see I'm not going to change Mike's mind because he's just dug in on this.
No, it's a fair point, but you don't have to pay him. You can wait a couple of years, and let's make sure that last year was the beginning of a new relationship with Kevin Stefanski. My point is Lamar Jackson has played at a high level from the moment he started. Baker hasn't, so why rush if you're the Browns?
Rob, what do you think?
Well, I look at everything as a football player, and if I was a D coordinator, I look at these two players. Which one is going to give me a bigger headache trying to prepare for? And that's Jackson. I mean, think about the things that he's able to do with his feet, getting out of the pocket. We all saw that in the game where he came back out of the locker room, threw a touchdown pass. So for me, I just think that when you look at Jackson and the things that he can do getting out of the pocket, and you look at Baker, if you're going against him as a coordinator, you're just saying to your D-line, make sure you keep Baker in the pocket, make him throw from a tight pocket. He's not a big, tall guy, so he's not going to be able to see the field that well. You keep him contained in the pocket. He's going to throw you the football eventually. So when you just look at Lamar and the things that he's able to do, it's so hard to stop him. They can run the RPO. He can throw the ball down the field. He's got a cannon for an arm. He's going to continue to grow. So I would pay Lamar right now. And I would wait on Baker, just like Mike's saying, wait on him. You have time. You have you can wait it out 3 years to see if he improves and gets better as a passer, because he's not a running quarterback. If he runs, he's eventually just going to wear out and get hurt. So I'm paying Lamar. I'm not paying Baker.
All right, well, Baker says he bets on himself. I guess he's going to be betting against you, Rob, and you, Mike T. We'll see how his bet ends up working out. All right, guys, coming up. Kevin Durant carried the Nets into Milwaukee, but the Bucks were able to force a Game 7. Does KD have enough left in the tank to avoid elimination? We're bringing our big man lineup in next.